Phobias are characterized by significant distress and often cause a person to avoid the source of their fear or suffer from extreme anxiety when faced with it. Someone experiencing a phobia that is interfering with everyday life should consider undergoing treatment for their phobia, as outcomes for professional care are typically favorable. Many of us feel uncomfortable around certain objects, situations, or animals. We might not like spiders or elevators, but we can tolerate them. We might detest public speaking, but we can do it when we have to. However, for some of us, a certain thing or situation causes so much fear that we go to great lengths to avoid it and our lives suffer as a consequence. In this case, we may have a specific phobia. Here we will tackle phobias you may have never heard of. Welcome to Innovatronics TV, and we're here giving you the weirdest phobias that really do exist. Arachibutyrophobia. Arachibutyrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. While the phenomenon has happened to everyone at one point or another, people with arachibutyrophobia are extremely afraid of it. Some with this condition may be able to eat small amounts of peanut butter, but others will completely avoid eating peanut butter or anything with a similar consistency. Nomophobia. Nomophobia is the fear of being without your mobile phone. People with nomophobia experience excessive anxiety about not having their phone with them, their battery being low, or their phone being out of service. Regardless of the circumstances, not being able to use their phone causes people with nomophobia to become panicked and experience extreme symptoms of anxiety. Arithmophobia. Many people grow up dreading math class, but people with arithmophobia have a genuine fear of numbers. People with this fear usually experience anxiety associated with doing math or dealing with numbers in general, versus fear of actually seeing the number symbols. The fear of numbers is also sometimes referred to as numerophobia. Plutophobia. Many people probably wish they had more money, but plutophobia is a fear of money or wealth. People with plutophobia may fear wealthy people or fear becoming wealthy themselves. People with this fear may potentially sabotage their careers to avoid making more money or becoming wealthy. Xanthophobia. Xanthophobia is a fear of the color yellow. People with this rare phobia are usually also afraid of any object that is yellow, such as school buses and flowers. People with xanthophobia may avoid the color yellow at all costs, and they may even find yellow foods to be distressing. This phobia tends to interfere with everyday life, as yellow things can be found everywhere. Ablutophobia. Ablutophobia is a fear of bathing, washing, or cleaning oneself. This phobia most often occurs in children and resolves with age, but it can still be present in adults. People with ablutophobia avoid bathing and showering, which can lead to unpleasant body odor and sometimes social isolation. Octophobia. Octophobia is a fear of the number 8. Interestingly, there are few other known phobias to specific numbers, except for the fear of numbers themselves, arithmophobia, and the fear of the number 13, triskaidekaphobia. People with octophobia fear the symbol 8 as it appears written down, such as in addresses or advertisements. Optophobia. Optophobia is a fear of opening one's eyes. This fear can be extremely debilitating, as it is hard for an individual to carry out daily activities without opening their eyes. People with optophobia may prefer to stay indoors or in dimly lit areas. This phobia is usually associated with a generalized anxiety disorder. Like many other rare phobias, this fear is usually the result of a traumatic incident. Globophobia. Globophobia is a fear of balloons. The level of fear varies from person to person and can range from avoiding being near balloons to avoiding places with balloons altogether. In some people, the fear is so great that even seeing a balloon on television triggers intense anxiety. This rare fear can be especially hard for young children, as balloons are often present at children's birthday parties. Hippopotomonstrosesquippedaliophobia. Hippopotomonstrosesquippedaliophobia is a fear of long words. Ironically, it is also the longest word in the dictionary. Another name for this phobia is sesquipedaliophobia. It is believed that the phobia of long words develops from being embarrassed by pronouncing long words incorrectly. This may occur while reading aloud in front of the class as a child. The phobia can also be common in people with dyslexia. Ephebiphobia. Ephebiphobia is a fear of adolescence or youth. People with ephebiphobia may perceive teenagers as out of control or dangerous and believe they are rude, unpredictable, and do not follow rules. This fear is thought to develop from the negative portrayal of teenagers in the media. People with ephebiphobia are afraid of teenagers and will not want to be around them. People with this fear may avoid going to a friend's house if they have teenagers or avoid places where teenagers tend to hang out. Omphalophobia. Omphalophobia is a fear of belly buttons. People with omphalophobia will avoid seeing or touching belly buttons, even their own. They might even put a bandage over their belly button to avoid looking at it. They will sometimes avoid places where belly buttons might be exposed, like the beach. Linonophobia. Linonophobia is a fear of string. A person with linonophobia will have an extreme reaction even when just thinking of string, let alone seeing it in person. People with linonophobia will avoid string or anything having to do with string, such as sewing or tying shoes. Pogonophobia. People with pogonophobia will avoid those with beards and may even have anxiety when looking at a picture of a bearded person. They usually will not be friends with someone who has a beard and will feel extremely nervous when talking to someone who does. Chaetophobia. Chaetophobia is a fear of hair. This phobia can be a fear of one's own hair, other people's hair, or even animal hair. People with chaetophobia might be afraid of a hairball on the ground, or afraid of combing their hair. They often find it extremely difficult to get haircuts and will generally avoid situations where other people touch their hair. Vestiphobia. Vestiphobia is a fear of clothing. For many people, this manifests as a fear of a specific garment. For others, it might come from a fear of tight-fitting clothing that causes one to feel constrained. In other cases, it is a fear of all clothing. Ergophobia. Ergophobia is a fear of work. People with ergophobia tend to have extreme anxieties associated with their place of work or work environment. Some may have a fear of manual labor or the act of working itself, while others can have a fear of finding a job. All of these cases would be classified as ergophobia. The fear of work can lead to anxiety attacks and impair a person's ability to function professionally. Decidophobia. Decidophobia is a fear of making decisions. Making any kind of decision can seem impossible for someone with decidophobia, as they do not trust their own opinions. A person with decidophobia may excessively rely on others to help them with decision-making. Eisoptrophobia. Eisoptrophobia is a fear of mirrors. This phobia is also sometimes referred to as spectrophobia or catoptrophobia. People with this fear are unable to look at themselves in a mirror. This fear may also extend to any reflective surface. Deipnophobia. Deipnophobia is a fear of dining with others. This often manifests as a fear of dinner parties and may stem from a fear of dinner conversations or having to carry out a conversation while eating. And those are the weirdest phobias that really do exist. How about you guys? Do you have other rare phobias to tell? Comment down below. If you enjoy watching this video, please click the like button and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of amazing topics to share with you. Thank you for watching.